Hi, and welcome back to the Waxman Show. Today we're going to be talking to you about how we have helped business owners with the infinite banking concept. And we just got back from Arizona yesterday. We were at a Cardone Ventures event with Brandon and Natalie Dawson, and we were speaking to a lot of business owners. So we thought of coming up with this topic for the podcast today. So babe, let's start off. And what do you think is the biggest challenge for business owners when it comes to their business? First thing comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind is handling money. Have you read the book, The E-Myth?
Not yet.
No? The E-Myth by Michael Gerber is an amazing book, and it's something that talks about the E stands for entrepreneur, and a lot of people get started in business just because they're good at the thing that they do, okay? And that's not the best way to start a business, right? And so, even though that's how I started all my businesses, but it's not the way that you start business. And so a lot of people just get started because that's what they do, and they don't know how to manage money, and they don't know how to manage their business, and they end up running into a lot of problems.
Okay. Awesome. That's a good one. So what if I told you don't have to depend on banks or loans to grow your business anymore, right?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know us, let's do a quick intro on who are we, what do we do, why do we care so much about infinite banking?
Cool. Why don't you start us off?
With who are we?
Yeah, that's all of it. Good.
So we are the Waxmans. Josh and I met in 2023 in the insurance industry, and we decided to build a team, an office, and company together, specifically with life insurance, but for infinite banking. And that is our initial concept. What we love to focus on is infinite banking with whole life insurance. We have a whole meaning behind it, is we want to revolutionize the financial world. We believe that banking is evil, the stock market is evil. So we have come up with another way. Not we have come up, Nelson Nash came up with a different way too, right here, becoming your own banker, to be able to create your own banking system without depending on the government or anyone else out there.
Absolutely. For business owners, they're constantly having money come in and out, much more than just like a typical person. As a business owner has to deal with a lot of moving parts. And for most business owners out there, the moving parts are what they're good at. They're able to just figure it out. But being able to really organize it all, be able to do it in an organized fashion, be able to do it like a professional and manage it, not like have to be in the rat race, or Brandon Dawson calls it the washing machine, where you're just constantly like back and forth over and over and over.
A very good analogy.
It does feel like that sometimes, right? And then even with the water, sometimes you're gonna end up having some tears shed, right? Being in the washing machine, but business owners have a great opportunity because they have so much more cash flow to really control it. But no one ever teaches them to control it. And people, the typical thing that we teach people to do is to take their money, pay their bills, and then use whatever's left over to save or invest. And it causes major challenges.
Yeah. And so what do you think listeners can expect from us moving forward with this episode as we go through it more?
Listeners can expect to have a clearer understanding of how they can maximize their cash flow, how they can minimize their taxes, and how they can really create leverage in their business. Now, leverage, a lot of people have challenges with leverage and challenge with debt, yet every wealthy person I know uses a ton of leverage and a ton of debt to be able to grow their businesses and their assets. And it's just something that we have to reshape our mindset, to shift our paradigms around.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you see coming in for business owners that you hear when we were just at this Cardone Ventures event? What are some of the common things that you heard them talk about?
Some of the common things we heard this past weekend was they don't have access to capital as easily and quickly as they would like. They don't really know how to leverage without giving it up to somebody else. Or they forget about the opportunity cost that they're missing out on because they just go and use this cash and pay for things.
Right.
So they don't know about what they don't know.
True. And why do banks make it hard for people, entrepreneurs, business owners, investors? Why do they make it hard for people to access capital?
So that people can really continue to depend on them for the cash and the loans, and then they go and make money off of that.
True. right?
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. It's being able to understand the banking system, but they also have different rules and regulations around what they can do depending on what the Federal Reserve is doing, depending on what the government, I mean, the economy is doing, and so there's a lot of regulations around that. But the bank wants to lend out its money. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
But they also don't want to over leverage, because if they over leverage, then they'll go under. So even though they are already over leveraged, but over leverage more than they already are.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about an example for us where we personally felt like we were stuck before when it came to this type of financing or outside of financing. Have you had a moment where
I
you
mean,
felt stuck?
I've been stuck in multiple different phases of my life. I was financially wise. I mean, but I always found access to it. So like, I want to say that a lot of people don't know where to go, because there's a lot of capital that you can get from different various sources. So unless you have horrible credit, there's a lot of like anything under 650 is hard to get capital.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, and I was in the loan business before. So if you have under 650 credit score, you can't go to the bank. You can't get an SBA loan. You're not going to get good credit cards. And then you can't get 0% interest credit cards, or I don't know every credit card. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but you can't get most 0% interest credit cards. And then you have to go get hard money or high interest loans, merchant cash advances, and those are near predatory loans, and they're very challenging for people to get out of. But I mean, even when I was like 21 years old and I was running Lee's, like in order to buy the store, like I mean, it fucked me over, but I got $100,000 loan at 8% interest for 2 years, which is 100,000 to pay back like 114 or something like that.
Yeah.
The loans, I got loans for the business. Then in this business I got 0% interest credit cards. But you got to know where to go for capital. But most people have challenges accessing it. I don't think we've personally had an example of relying on outside financing at this moment, but a lot of our clients have, with equipment finances and construction or
I
gyms.
would say, yeah. I would say too, I was thinking about like when I bought my real estate property and we put the money down payment, and of course we didn't have that good of credit score, and it brought our interest rate a little bit higher than usual. And instead of, if I would have known about this and putting my down payment first in the policy, then leveraging that and then going to buy the real estate property would have changed everything for us. However, we learn, right? We learn from our mistakes. And yeah, but you're right. I don't think that there's, besides that, any other positions where we felt stuck.
No, but I mean, that's just because I understand where to go. Like, I was in the loan business and I'm very resourceful with money. Like, we know where to go to figure it out. We're going to go get it somehow. And I've
At
always
this point, but I feel like before we didn't. Well, I didn't. There's a lot of people out there that probably feel the same. That don't know where.
Well, what about, talk about, if you feel comfortable with it, but what about the dude that loaned you money that made you pay like 10% per month in interest?
Yes.
I mean,
it's just
I mean, that's literally like so fucked up.
But a lot of people do that. That's what you would do with your
never do
business
that.
loans.
No shot. Not 10% per month.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. But there was a situation and I didn't care because I wanted to get out of it as soon as possible, that I was willing to pay whatever, and it didn't seem that much. But yes, I got myself, again, with the real estate property mistake. It was an extra loan outside of that I had to pay because of my mistakes.
To buy furniture?
To buy furniture. What exactly is infinite banking? Let's just say, how would you explain it to a 10-year-old? You give your version and then I'll give my version of how I explain it, because I think we explain it 2 different ways. To a 10-year-old.
Okay. Teach people to control their money. So, here's what everybody does is they take their money down to the bank, and then the bank takes all their money and they make more money from their money. I teach people to keep their money and be able to make more money on their own money.
That's perfect. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, if I was to explain it to a 10-year-old, I'd be like, hey, you're going to put on this hat and you now have a business and you are becoming a banker. You have a banker hat. Okay. So now you are controlling people's money and you're also helping them. So now you can also control your own money by using this little word called leverage. So you get to become the banker. And just remember, he who has the gold controls,
Makes the rules.
makes the rules. He who has the gold makes the rules, said in this book. So, you want to make the rules, then you control the gold.
Cool. And so for business owners, how can they take advantage of the process for being able to utilize it?
They could take advantage of it by leveraging whatever they're going to go use it with, whether the business or if they're going to go use cash for, let's say, equipment, their real estate, whatever they may need it. Before they go spend that cash, think about leverage. I've heard leverage is the name of the game. So learn what leverage can really do for you. If you have 100 grand and you're about to go use into your next business idea, let's put that 100 grand first into your policy so you can leverage against it and then go invest into your business. Because if you go invest it into your business, obviously that capital is going to grow and it's also going to grow in your policy. So now you have it growing in two different places.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
one way.
anytime anybody pays cash for things, they're thinking that again, it's something we've been duped into believing that we're like saving money on interest, which like yes, you are saving money on interest, but you're not taking into account the opportunity cost. And so most business owners are financing or paying cash for everything in their life. And then that's one of the rules, page 85, number 3. We finance everything in our life. We either pay interest to somebody else or we give up the interest that we could have earned otherwise. And I never pay for cash for things anymore unless I need something like right now. If it's fast, if there's an opportunity, if we have to jump on, if we have to make a decision right now, if there's something due right now, that's different.
Yeah.
But like every single dollar that we're earning is going into our policy and we borrow against it. And the benefit to that is that we don't have to ever deplete our cash. As soon as you pay cash for something, it is gone forever. You can never make money off that money ever again.
Yeah, it's so true. And then I also heard this too, and it could be your analogy or somewhere else that I heard it, but it's like building our foundation. Before you go and yes, you can go buy Bitcoin, you can go invest in the stock market. That's on you, your choice. But first, let us help you build the foundation. And that is done with infinite banking because when you have that foundation in place, you can rest assured or be in peace that your money, your financial future is going to be stable because you built the foundation first. Right.
I just want to add too, like, it's not us doing it though. You have to become your own banker. We are not your bankers. You're becoming your own banker. We're going to show you how to do it, but it's your business. And so many people think that we're going to just do everything for them, and that's not how it works. You have to be the banker. You have to understand your banking business. You have to figure out how to do it. We teach you how to do it, but like if you never if you open up a bank and no one ever goes there, that's your fault for not marketing your bank. If you open up a restaurant and you don't make food properly, well, people aren't going to come back to your bank, and your restaurant's going to close. So if you open up a banking business, if you're learning to become your own banker, you have to understand what banking is. You have to understand how to become a banker. You have to understand how to loan out money. You have to understand how to receive loan payments. You have to understand how to actually do that.
Yeah.
And so few people actually do it. And it really is the fault of the agent most of the time for not communicating properly that you have to own your banking system and handle it properly, because most people just want to get paid.
Yes. And part of working with us is that we will not just sell you a policy and forget about you. After your policy becomes approved and active, we will sit down and have an implementation, onboarding call, and also help you map out what you want to do within the next few years using your policy. So, for example, we had a client come in last week and we're going to help her map out and organize her money. And on top of that, like we have spreadsheets for our own purchases that we purchased our cars or finance our wedding. We have our templates that we can provide to our clients as well that you can just copy for yourself. So you're not trying to figure it out on your own. We just want you to put the work into it.
Yeah, and we're working right now on also putting together a whole game plan for after, just like the Cardone Ventures platform process. We had a weekly implementation call to be able to understand everything about your finances so that you can really be in the right position to be able to take all of the knowledge and be able to implement it into your life. Because if you just have an onboarding call to set up your account and an implementation call to see how it goes, that's not where it ends. Somebody needs to be holding your hand through the process every single week. I have a call every single Tuesday with Cardone Ventures financial department, and I have them teaching me exactly how to manage my cash flow properly. And the same thing has to happen for you when you become your own banker, because otherwise you can't just buy a 77-page book and be like, all right, I'm good to go. No, that's not how it works, right? And having like a couple hours of a call, that's not how it works. In fact, on the page 1, he says this is actually a
10
this
hour.
is a text for a 10-hour course of instruction about the power of dividend-paying whole life insurance. It is not a sales tool for life insurance agents. That is literally the first 2 sentences of the book. And so many people think it is a sales tool for insurance agents because they utilize it that way. And it is not that way. It is literally you teaching people how to become their own banker, how to open up a banking business that's privatized, controlled, liquid, and allows you to pass on millions and millions of dollars to your family tax-free.
Yeah. The strategy can be very, very beneficial for you and your family. It will change your life and your entire world. You will have peace of mind once you have this policy in place and you learn how to use it. But all we ask is that you just put a little bit of effort as well as we're helping you create this banking system, right? So we help you throughout the entire process. We don't just sell it, be transactional, and be done. We're here to actually create legacies with you. We will also help you afterward to set up your trust, right? Because that's the next step. That's the most important too, especially with setting up the system.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about it in the video I was making myself. Like, if you have over $13 million of assets, you're gonna have to pay your family, or 13.6. Your family's gonna have to pay estate taxes, which is 40% in the United States. You need to protect that. And a lot of people are like, "Well, I don't have all those assets." Well, you should just buy your net worth instead of using it. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in this other book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? I was just reading it, and he talks about using whole life insurance to create your banking system. And also, this is what the Rockefeller family did to pass on to like 6 generations and still going. But he talks about one chapter specifically called Buy Your Net Worth instead of building it, because a lot of people wait to build their net worth. So you can easily just buy your net worth. And for example, let's use Josh net worth. You can buy your net worth. Let's use Josh for an example. He has a $10 million life insurance policy in place, and he, God forbid, something happens to him tomorrow. Well, he has $10 million worth of life insurance policy. And if he happens to pass away, then the beneficiary of that policy receives $10 million. Why? Because he had a beneficiary in place, he had the life insurance in place, and he bought that net worth using the policy.
We should make an entire video off of this. Buy your net worth instead of building it, because it takes time to build it. I mean, we've gone through like so much BS running. Like, every business owner that's watching this goes through so much stuff, and then we were just talking about this at dinner last night too. So many business owners work their butts off for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and still don't have a saleable business, meaning they don't have any assets, they don't have duplication, they don't have anything to sell. They just have them, and if they retire, they're done. So then you don't have any aspect of that, and you can work so hard and be known in the community, and I know this firsthand because of my family, and still have nothing to show for it at the end besides your businesses. And if you don't have those anymore, then you're not worth anything. And so it has major challenges with being able to really understand how to do that, and to be able to, at 25, 30, 35 years old, be able to buy your net worth to be 10 millions of dollars. It's actually a fun game for me, because I don't want to be worth more dead than alive. I want to be worth more alive than dead. So when I keep getting more policies, I don't know if you know this, but like, I actually, like, it makes me make sure that my alive net worth is more than $10 million. Like, I want our company to be worth more than 10, so that, like, you don't think, or I don't think, that I'm worth more dead than alive. And then, because like that, sometimes the shit gets tough. I'm like, fuck it. Like, this is a lot. Like, if something happened to me right now, my whole family would become instant millionaires. But I wanted to be worth more alive than dead. So when I buy my net worth every time, it adds that. And then I make sure if I match it at least to what I'm worth alive, then I have double the net worth.
Yeah.
I have a business worth $10 million and a policy worth $10 million. and then you're worth $20 million.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it.
It is actually how I look at it, because like when I am not, not in a depressive state, but the truth is, like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I have to go through all this stuff. I could just, God forbid, something could happen, and all my family would be taken care of. Like, like they could all get $1 million and it would change other lives. But then I'm like, no, 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 Josh, you're gonna be worth billions of dollars one day. So you got to keep working hard. So like I buy it and then I work for it. Then I buy it, then I work for it. Then I buy it, then I work for it. And every time I do it, then you could just get double.
Yeah. I know that.
Inside the brain of me. That's the truth, though.
And so let's talk about our current business owner clients.
Cool.
Right? Why do you think they love and believe in all this?
They love it. Most of them love it because of control. They love to control their money. They don't have to.
What does control really mean? Though? Like,
control really means you don't have to answer to somebody else. Control really means that you don't have to pay interest to other people. You're paying it back to the insurance company that you are a part owner of, because in a mutual company. But the reality is, like, controlling money means like you have the ability to decide what to do with it.
Right.
To me.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me.
That's a good way.
So like when you say controlling your money, you still have to put it into the policy, you still have to pay premiums, you still have to borrow against it, you still have rules, you still have to pay your bills. But like you're using the life insurance company's money to facilitate it all, and then you pay it back on your terms and your time frame with the amount of interest that you want, which should be done at market rate and then a little bit more.
Right. When I think about control, and this is because I used to be in the same situation as Anna when she came in, it's like most people, I feel, not most, maybe a lot of people have their money everywhere, and they don't realize that they're paying these little fees or interest to these little things, and they're just kind of like, okay, whatever, it's already gone. It's only a couple of dollars here and there, and it's just everywhere spread out, that we don't really see the total of it. And because we don't have control of it, I used to be in that situation. I was just money there, money here. I didn't care to really sit down and organize it because it didn't look like a lot.
That's why we're going to roll out our infinite bookkeeping services, because I've had multiple people that I have to get on a call with their bookkeeper to help them organize their stuff. Even the guy this morning I was talking to, he was like I set up a call. He's going to come to the office actually next Friday. Oh no, it's the weekend after. We just booked the flight. He's gonna come to the office the 10th. But like being able to really organize their money, most people have no control over it. Like amazing woman, successful woman, didn't even have logins to most of the accounts that she had.
Yeah. So let's talk about, how does infinite banking help someone save on taxes?
It doesn't directly help someone save on taxes. Let me clear that up too. It's not tax deductible. It doesn't save on any taxes. You still have to pay your taxes. And that has to do with your CPA. I'm not a CPA. It doesn't affect how you save your money on taxes. To save your money on taxes, you should spend more money. It's actually mind-blowing that anybody pays taxes. Mm. The fact that somebody that has a business, I'm not talking about people that have a job, your taxes come out automatically. But for people that have a business, how could you realize on December 1st that you have to pay $100,000 in taxes? Or the guy I talked to, he paid $1.2 million in taxes. Wow. Why would you not just write $1 million check to Cardone Ventures to grow and scale your business? Yeah. But you're gonna either give it to the government or give it to them. What's the difference? It was mind blowing. So that's another thing about controlling your money, but you can't directly lower your taxes. You can read this book, whatever, How to Lower Your Taxes by Sandy Botkin. Great book. You should buy a 6,000-pound car. You should buy a business expense. You should, if you're waiting to buy computers for your company and it's on your agenda for February, buy them in December. Yeah. Like, why not spend the money, and you can depreciate those assets now 100%. So it doesn't really affect your taxes. Now, on the flip side, you could do Section 162 of the tax code says that you can do an executive bonus plan, which means that you can write off the taxes of the premium on the taxes of a business by paying premiums to a key executive. But then the executive is now paying taxes at ordinary income tax. So you have to play the game of what's going to be the difference. Now, again, you play around with it. It's easier to write off business expenses than personal expenses. So it's not always the best thing to do, but it just depends on the situation. Again, I just don't know. Like when Grant Cardone had a tax problem, he bought a plane. Like, why? I don't know. Even if you just buy 100 books of Think and Grow Rich and donate them to schools, like, you're either gonna pay $1,000 in taxes or donate $1,000 worth of books. Like, I really just don't see any reason why anyone should pay taxes. No, I don't see any reason. Actually, I just saw Jeff Bezos got like a $150,000 tax refund or something like that.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Insane.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get a $4,000 tax refund.
Okay, so it's not tax free, but I mean, not doesn't save money in taxes. Well, let's talk about how the money is growing and then the tax free aspect of this policy.
Cool. So it also technically is tax deferred, but when you borrow against it, it's tax free.
Mhm.
So as long as you don't withdraw it, which you don't ever need to withdraw it.
Yeah.
And you don't need to withdraw it. It is but then people like eat up people that say it's tax free. It is tax free if you borrow it. It's tax deferred if you withdraw it.
Yeah.
But
There's two important words there when you have a policy in place, right? So there's withdrawal and then a loan. And
yes.
most people get scared of the word loan, but it's not really a loan. It's just something to help you leverage.
It is really a loan.
It is a loan, but it's just to
Don't-
leverage your cash value. But the withdrawal word makes it seem like you're about to surrender or quit the policy, so you want to take it all and never put it back in, right? Or something.
Yeah, well, when you withdraw the cash, they're actually sending you a portion of the cash. They're surrendering part of the cash value now.
Right.
And so you don't want to withdraw the policy at all. All right, so if I'm a business owner right now, where do I even start?
Okay, so if you're a business owner, you can start by calling us or our team and scheduling appointments. We can do a discovery call and figure out what your best financial goals would be to continue with your business. If you want to go buy real estate, whatever it is that you want to do, then you can contact us first.
Yeah, I mean, being able to actually sit with somebody that's an authorized infinite banking practitioner that understands how to reverse engineer your goals and your targets. And I know that most people want to go sit next to a certified financial planner or a CFA or a financial advisor. The reality is that it's not about the person or their designations. It's about who you sit down with. And there is nobody better than us to be able to sit down and reverse engineer your targets, your goals, and what you're looking to do than to be able to be successful in life and business from a financial standpoint. And so that's really what we focus on. So how can people get a hold of us specifically?
Yeah, I mean, just by clicking the link below, going to our website and scheduling a phone call, or just sending us a direct message, whether it be on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you see this video. And just to let you guys be, and so we're transparent, there is no fees that we charge, not like a financial advisor, like he just said. We literally do calls with you, guide you through everything for free. The only thing is the life insurance company is what pays us our commission. And yeah, so what would that look like if somebody, after they decide, okay, I want to do this, this is what I know it's for me. What's the process like moving forward?
Once you get a policy,
Once they decide to, okay, they look at this, they read the book, they're like, I want this.
set up a strategy call. We sit down, we talk about your goals, what you're looking to do, see how this can fit into the picture. This shouldn't be something that's a bill. It's not an expense. It's not something different than what you're doing right now. This just fits into the banking part of your life. And then we would submit an application if once we finalize how the numbers look together. But still, even at that point, it's going to take 2 to 6 weeks for you to actually get approved. You're going to go through a health screening and be able to go through a background report with the life insurance company. It's highly regulated and allows them to be able to minimize their risk, because if something, God forbid, happens to you, they got to pay your family a lot of money. And then we come back together once we have an approval, sit down, talk the numbers, issue the policy, and then the real work begins, which is when we actually start implementing the policy and teaching you how to become your own banker.
Yes. And in the meantime, if you're interested just a little bit, start watching the videos that we have on our YouTube, reading this book, and What Would the Rockefellers Do? That'll help you open your mindset to this concept. All right. And so, why do you think a business owner should start now and get into looking into this as soon as possible?
Because Nelson Nash says the only negative is not participating. Yes.
Okay. You're not going to lose any money. And we are just going to send an application and see if you can get approved. And then we'll go from there. Thank you for watching The Waxman Show, and stay tuned for next week's show.